It's all covered in today's China Truths.
The boss has run away. Another boss couldn't hold on. One went bankrupt, another followed. Factories are collapsing one after another like dominoes falling in slow motion. How many factories in China are still making money? Even those who used to survive on honest, low-margin processing can't hold out anymore. There's no work. And when there is work, it's at a loss. Bankruptcy is the new normal. The ships are gone. The workers abandoned. "Help!" one cries. "Who can understand our pain?" He just got off his shift when the company vanished overnight. The boss ran away, still owing him 9,000 RMB. For weeks, they promised to pay, but in the end, there was only silence. And yet, on the eve of the 4th plenary session of the 19th Central Committee of the Communist Party, state media flooded the internet with headlines praising China's robust economic recovery. But after the National Day holiday, reality shattered the illusion. A nationwide wave of bosses running away. Workers returned to find offices stripped bare, computers gone, printers missing, internet cables ripped out. One man thought he'd gone to the wrong place, checking the address 3 times before realizing the truth. Only a faded slogan, "Create brilliance together," was left hanging on the wall of an empty office. Before the holiday, some employees had promised their bosses, "I'll work harder after the break." But when they returned, even their workstations were gone. Group chats were deleted, private messages unanswered. The only lingering text, "When will overtime pay be paid?" This is no joke. Many haven't received their wages for months. Rent is due, loans are piling up, and there's nowhere left to cry. Across industries, panic is spreading. Will you still get paid before your goods even arrive? Upstream suppliers are vanishing, blaming the holiday to delay payments. And once the holiday ends, even more of them flee. In the gold accessories business, many upstream companies are taking desperate risks, gambling everything on their last order. If your payments are stuck, beware. Your upstream might be the next to disappear. In Shanghai, a restaurant owner fled, leaving behind 3 million RMB in unpaid wages. Over 100 workers hadn't been paid in half a year. The manager tracked the boss to another restaurant, but even the police couldn't help. The owner claimed it was a partnership issue. The court? Useless. He gave workers 500 RMB each, not in cash, but IOUs. "It's a loan," he said. "We'll pay later." But later never came. In the end, the workers gave up. They gathered every day, hoping for a solution, until despair silenced them all. One worker filed a real name report, saying bitterly, "Our boss doesn't even rest during National Day or mid-autumn. He just runs." Now this wave of absconding is sweeping across Guangdong, Zhejiang, and Shanghai. Workers who try to defend their rights are met with intimidation, censorship, or total silence. Even when police step in, the process is identical. Delay, deflect, disappear. Meanwhile, the public is told to consume responsibly. But who still dares to spend? Even barbershops are collapsing. In Longhu, Hawangshan, consumers lined up at the police station, demanding justice after yet another barbershop owner vanished with prepaid funds. This isn't new. Training centers, gyms, beauty salons, all closing overnight. Even luxury car dealerships aren't spared. This afternoon, at a BMW 4S shop, employees whispered that the post-90s tech team once hailed as China's AI dark horse had vanished overnight. A nation built on endless ambition is now running out of road. Factories, restaurants, tech startups, one after another, they're gone. And the workers? They're left with nothing but IOUs, slogans, and silence. At the start of the year, this company was the pride of China. It appeared on CCTV, praised by People's Daily Online as a model of innovation and a rising star of private enterprise. Yet less than 6 months later, the entire founding family quietly moved to Singapore. The core management team of over 40 people disappeared overnight, leaving behind only a few dozen confused employees, Soon, all laid off. When I came back from the holiday, I went straight to the processing plant. Empty, silent. At first, I didn't believe it. I thought maybe it was a renovation or a break. But then yesterday, several factory owners came knocking, asking if I could invest or join partnerships, because their own production lines had gone idle. That's when it hit me. This year, almost every factory has stopped moving. This should have been the busiest time of year. Every autumn used to be filled with noise, down jacket factories bursting with orders, warehouses stacked high with tens of thousands of pieces ready to ship. But this year, no one dares to stock up. Everyone's afraid of holding inventory that may never sell. Then, on October 7th, Wutong Shoe Doors and Windows, a company once hailed as an industry leader, officially announced its closure. Thousands of square meters of finished products sat abandoned in the warehouse. Dozens of tons of materials left unclaimed. Another proud brand gone. Another dream shattered. Why are so many Chinese bosses fleeing overnight? Why are once thriving factories collapsing in silence? The truth isn't hard to see. It's the system itself. Bank lending rules favor state-owned enterprises from start to finish. Private firms, no matter how hardworking or innovative, are treated as expendable, good only for paying taxes. When they're growing, the government doesn't help. When they're struggling, the banks look away. Small and medium-sized enterprises can only survive by borrowing from each other, signing mutual guarantees that chain one business to the next. So when one company falls, it pulls the others down like a row of dominoes. Even the honest ones, the ones still operating, get dragged under. And along with them go hundreds of thousands of workers' livelihoods. I've been in the AI industry for 5 years. 5 years of endless overtime. 5 years of late-night takeout. Today is my 1,753rd day at this company. This morning, I walked into my boss's office, hopeful, ready to discuss a promotion, maybe a small raise. Instead, he told me to hand my project to my apprentice. He reassigned my entire team. And then he cut my salary to 3,000 yuan. In other words, I've been quietly pushed aside. I'm 35 now, too old, too ordinary, too replaceable. I have a 1-year-old child, and suddenly, no income. Every day feels heavier. Mortgage payments, car loans, utilities, formula, diapers, everything costs money I no longer have. Behind me are aging parents who still depend on me. In front of me, a child just beginning life. This is what it means to be a middle-aged worker in today's China. To stand in the ruins of once booming factories, to scroll through news of economic recovery while your world falls apart, to realize that hard work no longer guarantees survival. The layoffs were so sudden. I didn't expect to be laid off before the National Day holiday was over. I went to work happily this morning, but then I attended a meeting with company leaders at the store, where they said they were closing the store due to poor performance. I had to either return to the company and wait for reassignment or resign. We have 8 people in our store, and one was laid off 2 days ago. Everyone was still guessing who would be next, but we didn't expect it to be our turn. Our store has been on the pedestrian street for 20 years, but it still couldn't survive. I received a layoff notice the day before National Day and spent the holiday in anxiety. I packed up and left at the end of the month. I heard a new hire would be taking over in 2 days. I had worked at this company for 6.5 years, with an average monthly salary of just over 20,000 yuan and compensation of just over 100,000 yuanins. I never expected someone in finance would be laid off too. While others were celebrating National Day, I was out of work. They told me to go back and wait for further notice, but all I got was, "You're not suitable for this job." Essentially, they dismissed me because of my age. In my 30s, I was deemed unfit to continue working. One blogger said he submitted 200 resumes but received only 4 interviews, all of which were based on the 30s being too old rating. He couldn't understand why the government was raising the retirement age while simultaneously pushing people in their 30s out of the workforce. Isn't this a systemic issue? As children, we desperately wanted to leave our hometowns. Only as adults did we realize our hometowns had become our final destination. Over the years of entrepreneurship, I've witnessed factory lights at 3 in the morning, downed countless cups of coffee, forced smiles at social events, and stayed awake until dawn over factory chores. Life has worn down a youth full of vigor and vitality into a cautious middle-aged man. I really want to go home. Across China's major cities and economic hubs, a wave of bankruptcies and layoffs is spreading like wildfire. Factories are shuttering, offices stand empty, and countless workers are being sent home with no notice. Once booming industries, from manufacturing to tech, are collapsing under mounting debt and shrinking demand. The streets that once symbolized China's economic miracle now echo with silence and despair. Small businesses are vanishing overnight, and even state-backed enterprises are tightening their belts. Fear and uncertainty are replacing the optimism that once fueled a generation. The age of endless growth has ended. China is entering an era of Great Depression and hardship. Goodbye and see you again. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share with your friends. Thank you for your support, and see you next time.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.